I can't even say the intro right now because I feel so bad. I've wronged you, and I've wronged myself. I say that the podcast comes first, but today it clearly does not. It clearly comes second at best because other things must have come in the way of it. When I say listen to it every Wednesday, I mean listen to it every Wednesday. And to those of you yesterday, which was a Wednesday, that wanted to listen to the podcast and it wasn't there for you, I apologize. I guess the podcast truly doesn't come first. I feel like an asshole and I'm sorry. I said before when this happened that I would never let it happen again, and I went back on my word. I think that time was when I even invented the phrase the podcast comes first, but now I have shamed you. I have shamed myself, and I'm going to go over to FPS Rush's house and stand in front of a car while he shoots whatever the fuck he shoots, missile launchers and AK-47s. I'll put some kind of fruit like watermelons and pineapples that he blows up. I'll just put them right in front of my face. And I'll die like a man at the hands of FPS Russia. I did record a podcast yesterday. What's up, y'all? It's Wax. Wax's Podcast, episode 18. I did record some podcast shit yesterday, except for the questions at the end, which I'm going to just tack on right now. I'm going to edit it together. I did record a podcast yesterday, but Today, which is Thursday, I had to upload my album, which is now fucking done. It's now mixed and mastered, sequenced. The artwork is done, and I had to upload it to this company called TuneCore, because sometimes it takes a long time to get it from TuneCore to iTunes, and then you set the release date. It's going to release on it will be released on January 15th. But the reason there's so much lead time is because of that, and also like we're going to make CDs and shit, and got to get it. Have some time to duplicate them, and we're going to make some new merch and shit like that. But stay tuned for that. And with that being said, I will play you the podcast that I recorded yesterday that I did not get a chance to put out because all I did yesterday was make these last-minute mix and master changes, sequencing changes, artwork, fucking shit, like all this shit yesterday, and the podcast did not come first. I guess I'm only halfway truthful when I say that. And I say with great gratitude to you, and great humbleness and great humility, I bow before you, the podcast listeners, and say I'm sorry. Thanks. Yes, that jingle, that intro jingle for Wax's podcast brought to you by Patient Zero. That's my man Ben Tunes. That's his band. They fucking recorded that, and that shit is awesome. I gotta tell you, I've gotten a few jingles made by some people out there, and I gotta say that might be my favorite one now because it just hypes me up before the podcast. It gets me ready to talk. I'm so fucking hyped up by that metal that I'm just ready to sit in a chair and talk for an hour. Welcome to Wax's Podcast. This is Wax's Podcast, episode 18. You thought I wasn't going to do it. You thought I couldn't make it to 18. You thought I can't make it to 19, but I'm going to prove to you next week that that's not the case. As next week will be, I guess Tuesday is Christmas, so the Wednesday that the podcast comes out. Maybe I'll do like a little Yuletide Christmas family podcast. I'll be down there in San Diego with my brother and his family. So maybe I'll do like a little family podcast like I did on episode 9 or 10 or whatever that one was, where my brother was kind of in the studio, quote unquote, his house with me recording the podcast. We'll see what happens. But speaking of my brother, I was actually down at my brother's house this weekend. Me and my whole Intense Imagination crew, we went down there and shot a music video. Music video for a song called Lewis and Clark that's going to be on my new album, Continue, that drops on January 15th, 2013. That album is now officially fucking finished. My man Joe, who mixed the album, just got that shit back from his homie, who was also named Joe. Pretty common name, I guess. And he's on his way over now with the mixed and mastered files. We're going to put that shit together, and then bam, the album is done. Then we got to... I can't just put it out because we got to finalize the artwork. We're going to try to get some cool merchandise and shit to go along with it. Stay tuned to the podcast. Stay tuned to my Twitter, my website, and all that shit. And we're going to try to have some little special little packages and autograph fucking whatevers and blibbity blah blah blue, all kinds of shit. So, yeah, that being said, hopefully if everything goes well, which I think it probably will, in 2 days from now, me and Chris's video, Chris is my brother, Herbal T, our video will be online, available for viewing on YouTube.com. If you're not familiar with YouTube.com, it is a website where you can place videos by you. That's why it's called YouTube, because it's all about you. You can put your video up there and have other people view it. And I think on Friday morning we're going to put our video up there and allow anybody who wants to hit the play button and view it. So yeah, what else is going on? I'm pretty excited this week, man. Despite all the bullshit and national tragedies and just fucking utter sadness and terribleness going on in the world, the positive thing going on for me this week is I have the album finished, and I'm kind of excited about it. And me and Joe been working on mixing this shit for the past like 2.5 weeks or whatever, and we finally finished it. So tonight we're going to go out to eat at a good restaurant. That's what we're going to do to celebrate this place down the street. The Trattoria or Trattoria, however you pronounce that. Get some fucking garlic bread and some seafood or something like that, and it's going to be the shit. And I'm excited about this album, man. It's going to be, it's an interesting project, and hopefully it'll make me take over the world of music. Just take over the world. Nah, it's not going to do that, but hopefully y'all like it. Shit is called Continue, January 15th, like I said. What else can I say about that? Gonna have some, I even typed up all the lyrics. People always ask me for the lyrics. I typed up all the lyrics. My homie Galen, who did the artwork, made like a little PDF file that comes when you download the album. So it's like, it has all the lyrics and shit like that, some photos and all that shit. So it's cool. What else is going on in my life? I will tell you, I just got back from running some errands, and one of those errands was I had to go to the post office. And, you know, around the holidays, Christmas time, the post office is going to get busy. So I got into the post office today, and I was shocked by the shortness of the line. I was like, hell yeah, man, this isn't going to take long at all to wait in this line and mail what I got to mail. But this guy got in line behind me, and this isn't going to be that great of a story because it's one of those big time had to be theirs. But this guy was like a fucking cartoon character, how just like pissed off and impatient he was in the line. And he was, for some reason, he was standing like really, like he was behind me in line, but I felt like his face was way too close to like the back of my head. And like, I don't know, man, it's hard to explain, but he just kept going, this is ridiculous. And he's fucking tapping, like, and he's stomping his feet, and he's fucking, you know, he's just, like, literally every time somebody that was, like, there was 3 open lines, you know, people that were up there dealing with the guy at the register or whatever, and every time anybody said something, like, you know, if he was like, would you like some stamps, the guy's like, this is ridiculous, what the fuck, like, he's cussing and shit, he's like, this fucking bullshit. Like, he was one of those dudes, like, I had to see what he looked like, so I looked behind me, and he's like, you know, like, white dude, he's wearing sunglasses, he got his little fucking hair all gelled up, looking off, like, he's like a Hollywood type of dude, you know. This is Marina Del Rey. It's kind of like the rich white people area, and it's like, dude, first of all, it's Christmas time in the post office. Like, you can't expect it to not be busy. Second of all, the shit could be way longer. Like, this is not that long of a line. I've been to the post office many times throughout my life, and I've seen it way worse. And, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe he had a fucking hot date to go to, or he was late to a funeral or something like that, but I just don't see why you would be so fucking pissed off like that. That's like the epitome of first world problems. I wanted to ask him like what he had to. I almost said something to him like, dude, stop grunting and getting the air from your grunt on the back of my neck. It's very uncomfortable. I almost said something. But what I wanted to say is like, once I was first in line and he was second in line, there actually was a time period where the 3 people up there had like a significant amount of shit to mail, and that's when he was getting the most pissed off. I wanted to just turn around and be like, dude, you want to fucking get in front of me and so you'll shut the fuck up? But I didn't, because I didn't want that to happen. I was hoping that when I got up there that it would just take forever and he would be even more pissed off than he was at the time. But that's what happened to me at the post office this morning. And I got back, and now I'm waiting for Joe to get here with the final mixes. I'm chilling here in my house, and once again, I'm not that prepared for the podcast. I get various emails. Thanks y'all for sending emails, by the way. That shit is awesome. Mad people emailing me with questions and shit. I get some people telling me that they like when I don't prepare, and some people saying, you know what, it's actually better when you do prepare. It's much easier to follow, you know, kind of go in chronological order. You have some kind of fucking point you want to make. But this week is not, I'm not unprepared because I purposely wasn't, like last week I purposely didn't prepare because people were saying they like that better. Damn. This week I'm just unprepared because I'm doing this real quick. Like I'm literally fitting in recording this podcast in between a bunch of other shit that I got to do today because it's kind of crunch time with this album and shit. I gotta do a bunch of shit, man. But so point is I'm not prepared. So I'm just gonna try to think of other shit that I did this week. What happened? I went and shot that video in San Diego. Everything went pretty well. A lot of cool shit. It's a really cool song. It kind of has an old school, like when I say old school, it kind of sounds like a, for the Beastie Boys, it was actually in their newer years. Not like Fight for Your Right to Party, License to Ill years, but more like Check Your Head years. That's what this beat kind of sounds like. It definitely has like a Beastie Boys vibe to it. Which I guess works for Wax and Herbal Tea. That's kind of like the vibe that we roll with. And this was produced by my boy Lack of Afro, who is a British producer who we've done several songs with, but never actually met. That's the power and beauty of the internet these days. You don't even have to meet someone in person, and you can consider them your friend. And musical fucking homie. I don't know, but this year, 2013, and next year rather, I'm gonna try to make it over there. I'm going to try to fucking, I don't know if you guys remember in my shit 2010 till infinity, I said something having ribbons in a pub with my man Adam Gibbons. Adam Gibbons is Lack of Afro's real name. So I was referring to him, and that was in 2010. So I've been making music with him for a while, even though we've never met. Sorry, I had to do an edit right there because I started rambling about nothing. Even more idiotically than usual, I started rambling about absolutely nothing. I was grunting and groaning just because I couldn't think of anything to say. I was going and shit like that because I literally couldn't think of anything to say. Anyway, I got a couple podcasts left until my album comes out, so I guess for podcast listeners, what I've decided to do every week this week is I'm going to show like a little snippet. Not like a whole song, but I'm going to show a little snippet of some shit I've been working on from the album. The first one I'm going to start with for this week, and I apologize, I'm probably going to like kind of talk over it too. I don't know. But the first one this week, I'm going to show a little snippet of the title track, which is called Continue. Alright, check this.
But the clock will keep ticking, there's another turn coming, and hopefully your dumbass will learn something. Don't get offended, stupidity something we're all born with. Knowledge, that takes a while to absorb it. That's why your parents' advice, you ignored it and did some old stupid ass uninformed shit like this. You got caught shoplifting. You fucking cheated on your girlfriend. Didn't wear a condom. And then you got fired from McDonald's. Sometimes when life gets low, gotta learn how to stick it out. I mean, what the fuck else you gonna do? That's what life is all about. I'm telling you the truth now. It's a lot of shit I've been through, but all that I can do is continue. Step into a tornado.
So there you go, that's a clip from the song Continue, which is on my album Continue, which comes out January 15th, 2013. That's a cool song, man. It's a pretty long song. It's got like 3 verses, some verse stuff, some versey stuff, some hooky stuff, some bridgey stuff, some instruments there, and you know, that's what it is. So Don't go around telling everybody that I'm playing these clips. This is supposed to be just for the podcast listeners because the podcast comes first. Just supposed to be for y'all. You have to listen to the podcast to know that I'm doing that. To know that I'm playing clips. I'm not gonna go tweeting like listen to the podcast for clips. Not gonna go Facebooking like this for clips of the podcast listeners. And if you Instagram my podcast, you'll listen to the clips or whatever the fuck it said. You gotta already be a listener of the podcast to even know that these clip things are happening. So what else is going on in my life? I guess not much, man. I've been so preoccupied with this album that I haven't got much going on. I did do some Christmas shopping, and when I say Christmas shopping, I mean I sat in front of a computer and filled out a bunch of shit and sent gift cards to my family. I guess my family listens to this, and now they all know what they're getting for Christmas, so that was probably a bad look to say that. But I like the fact that you can online shop because my least favorite place to be in the entire world is in a fucking shopping mall. I just don't like being there. I told you before, I don't like the Christmas music. You know what? It's not that I don't like Christmas music. There's a specific type of Christmas music that fucks with me. That's like the instrumental kind. Like, you know how... I've actually studied some of this stuff before, but you know when you go to a grocery store and they play like hit songs, but like the weird, they call it muzak. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that term, but muzak is when they play covers of popular hit songs, maybe from the 80s, 90s, I mean now probably in the 2000s too, but just like standards that everybody knows. But there's real light instrumental versions of them, and what those things are intended to do, and this isn't me making this up now, this is real shit. Like that shit is intended to make you slow down and just be comfortable and stay in the grocery store longer, because they figure if you stay in the store longer, you'll buy more shit. And it's the same reason they don't have clocks in casinos. It's the same reason they make it really cold in casinos, because being cold keeps you awake and makes you stay there longer. Next time you're in a grocery store, just listen and you'll hear what I'm talking about. That every grocery store plays this muzak shit. And there's the Christmas version of that. Like, I'm not mad at some like Temptations Christmas. I like the Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas. Like I said before, I love that Elvis version of Blue Christmas. That ooh, ooh, that was totally not the right key or notes, but you have a blue Christmas without you. Yeah, when they like the singers, like it's like an octave above that, and it just sounds like it makes it sound like it's this wintry wind gust. That shit is dope. But my point is, I don't have any problem with that kind of Christmas music. My problem lies in the muzak version of Christmas music, the kind I mentioned last week on the podcast, that I feel like it brainwashed me and made me buy the peppermint mocha. And I went, like I said, I went to the post office today. I actually went to that same Starbucks, and this time I got my large coffee. And when I came out, I saw this lady walking by herself with a smile on her face, singing along to the music thing. And then when I walked by her, she happened to go, "Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer," and she had this weird smile on her face. And it just fucked me up. It almost proved what I said last week. I felt like this thing was brainwashed. Like the smile that she had on her face, it just made me look at her and be like, damn, she must be taking them happy pills. You know, the antidepressants that everybody takes now? You know, something's wrong with you and you feel bad, so you got to take a pill to make you that probably just makes the muscles in your face turn into a smile, and just fucking whatever part of your brain says you're not happy, just fucking turns that part of your brain off and makes you some happy robotic. I was gonna say robot, but robot. Some happy robot. That's what I felt about that, and I feel like the Christmas music just enhances that. But hey, maybe I'm just a fucking Grinch. Bah humbug, you know? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. This podcast isn't going too well this morning. I don't know if you could hear the edit, but I just had to edit out a bunch of shit I just said and start from a certain point. Because once again, I was rambling about nothing. Sometimes I think that I should be at least somewhat prepared for these things. Because all the shit I just said right now, I know for a fact that it'd be just super boring. I know that it would be mad boring, what I just said. And probably even what I'm saying right now is currently boring. Or what I'm currently saying is boring in the future when you listen to it. It wouldn't be currently boring, but, you know, I've been busy, man. I've been working on my album. And it's going to come out. And I don't know, who knows what it's gonna do. I hope people like it, and I hope the fucking word gets spread virally and people fuck with the album. I mean, at the very least, I can say it's not simple. You know, if you listen to it, I think even if you fucking hate the music, I think you can appreciate the fact that I put a lot of time into it, and you can hear that there's a lot of fucking little parts and shit like that, and you know, it's some real shit. It definitely gives you an idea of the kind of shit I've been going through. You know, the happy shit, the depressing shit, shit with women, you know, whatever. So check that out. Like I said, like a million times already in this podcast. But hey, maybe sometimes you got to use your podcast as a promotional tool. But it's January 15th, 2013. I believe that's a Monday. I think that's a Monday. So you can start your week off with that album. It's a pretty good size album. There's 16 songs on it, 2 interludes, and wait, is that what it is? Yeah, 16 songs, even though one of them is called a bonus track. I don't even know what these things mean these days when we say mixtape, album, but this is a bonus track. This is a, you know what I'm saying? Everything has these little subtitles. But it's just not, we don't listen to music the way we used to, you know? We used to get a CD, and when you put the CD in, you just let the fucking thing play until it's done. Nowadays, it's more like, kind of like, you know, you might listen to it once. Half the time when you import it into your iTunes, your iPod, or when you play it on your little car USB iPod dock thing that they got now, like, for some reason the shit never imports in order, and then you end up listening to like the last song, then the third song, then the seventh song, which sucks because you know, people put time into the way they actually sequence their album. So my point is, this day and age, people just cherry pick. They kind of listen to it once, and then they pick the songs they like the most, and then they listen to that, which is fine by me. Hopefully this one has a little something for everybody, and you know what, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and do like a call someone and fuck with them. You know who we haven't had on here in a while is my homie, my main man, EOM. I'm gonna try to call this fool real quick and see what the fuck he's up to. Oh, I could just think of some way to fuck with him. How can I fuck with this motherfucker? Come on, man. Yo, the deal, son.
I'm helping my friend move into his new house.
Oh shit, you're busy?
Yeah, a little bit. Not important?
No, it's not important at all. You're actually on my podcast right now. I don't want to fucking, if you're busy moving shit, I don't want you to be like that guy that's like, oh, let me take a phone call, then he moves a fucking bunch of furniture and you're the dick, you know?
Oh, true. Well, your podcast is way.
All right, well, shit, man. I was just gonna see what you were up to, you know, let the people know what you're doing, talk about the album and shit like that. But if you're moving furniture, maybe we can talk next week.
All right, sounds like a plan.
And this is still gonna be on there though.
All right.
Because it's so fucking interesting.
All right, well, have fun with that.
All right, man. All right. Yeah, you know, you know what I mean though. If you're helping your friend move, first of all, you're a nice guy. First of all, that's how you fucking know if somebody's an asshole or not. If you're the kind of person that like always tries to get out of your friend moving, you know, then you're probably a dick. Then again, if you're like me, maybe you're a little bit too much of a pushover. Since I was in a band back on the East Coast, I always had a van. So if you always have a van, that means if you have a van or a truck, that's the guy everybody calls to help move. I helped every single time any one of my friends moved. I was the guy with the van. Let me stop this real quick and see if I can find somebody else to call and fuck with. All right. I'm going to try. If you listen to this podcast, you know that this is the third time I've called this dude. First time he didn't answer. Second time he was on a train and it got cut off when he went in the tunnel. And I want to call this dude again because I know that the Palmer Squares just put out an EP. I'm actually on that EP. And I want to see what happens if I call this dude again. And see if the third time's a charm and it's another fail. This is Acumental from the Palmer Squares. Give him a call, see what the deal is. See if he wants to promote his new album or... Probably won't answer. He's probably at work.
YOLO.
Yo, what up, man?
Hey, what up?
Chilling, man. Hey, is it possible to take, you know, the Bag It Up song that I'm on your album?
Yeah.
Is it possible, you guys? Is it even possible at this point to take that down? I want to put like a cease and desist order about that one.
What are you asking?
I can't, because of legal reasons, I can't have that song up there anymore.
Oh shit! What do we need to do?
I think what you should probably do is fucking go to the nearest fucking bus station and fucking stand in. I don't fucking know. I couldn't think of a fun. I was trying to fuck with you, man. You're on my podcast, man. That wasn't a good one.
You fell apart way too quickly. You had me concerned for a minute, but you should have gave it a little extra thought.
I know. I fucking fell apart. Because I didn't think that I would have you at all.
For legal reasons, I thought you were off the label. What the fuck?
Right. Like you forced me to write the verse and record it.
What did you think of it?
I thought the shit was dope, man. I thought the shit was dope.
We concur. Yeah, that's like our favorite track on that joint, man.
I was just
appreciated.
Hey, it's nothing, man. It's nothing. I like the whole thing. That's one of the reasons I was hitting you up. First of all, the reason I was hitting you up is because I wanted to see if the third time we talked on this podcast would be a failure, and then maybe I'd have to, if it would have been, and it still could be, I suppose, but I'd have to initiate the 3 strikes you're out rule, and I could never talk about Palmer Squares again.
Well, to avoid having to do that, I'm like standing. You always catch me when I'm leaving the job and heading home, so I'm standing like right outside the train right now, and I'm just not going to get on, because the fucking call's going to get dropped for the third consecutive time. So.
Word up, man. So you're over there. For the people that don't know, the Palmer Square is a reference to Chicago. I believe Palmer Square is a place in Chicago, right?
You are correct, sir. We live right outside of Palmer Square Park, which is a little 3-block park in Logan Square, Chicago, on the north side. So that's where we've been living for like the last 4 years, and we've been to Palmer Squares for about 4 years now.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So it's like a square that's all within a square.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're playing that whole angle too. Like, we're some square, lame ass white motherfuckers, but surprise, we can rap.
Right. And it's one of the. It reminds me of one of those. You know those brain teasers, like how many squares are in this. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
So you basically live in like the Chicago metropolitan version of that.
Indeed, it's like Chicago Square, and then Logan Square, and then Palmer Square, and then there's a.
Is it just you and Term? Is it just you and Term that live together?
No, we got a third roommate who he's not seen as much. He's been in a couple of our like TPS report videos. Big bearded dude named Kevin, buddy of ours, who takes the third bedroom, and we used to live with the dude Zach for a little while at the same crib. But we've always had a third guy in there, but it's usually just me and Term as far as linking up on some music shit.
So I know you guys kill it as a unit on the music shit, but how's you guys getting like roommate squabbles and shit like that?
Not so much. I feel like there's not like any like this motherfucker's doing this. We're all pretty, lazy, dirty motherfuckers. So when the dishes are stacking up in the sink, I'm not like shaking my fist at somebody knowing I should be doing them. So everything's pretty chill. If there's any ever scuffles or anything, it's usually just because we're trying to get so much music shit done on top of our normal business. So it gets a little stressful, but I'm sure you can relate, and you can just move past that shit for the most part and make sure you get the job done.
Yeah, man. If you're I guess if you're working towards the same goal, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like we're at an advantage having like we didn't link up together because we wanted to be rap partners or something. We've been friends since like elementary school, and the rap thing just kind of happened. So I feel like that's a valuable component, being like a duo, having somebody to bounce ideas off, and being like a duo with somebody who you've been, basically best friends with your whole life. So at the end of the day, Palmer Squares and rap shit is like just me goofing around with my buddy, so it's all good. And if we ever split or something, I was saying to somebody recently, like, I don't know if I'd even have a desire to be like a solo artist or something, because this shit's a lot of work, but for right now, what Term and I got going on at the Palmer Squares, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool too. You can kind of tell, obviously, that you guys have at least known each other for a while, because you have I mean, you each sound different from each other and have your own style, but you also have kind of like there's like a Palmer Squares style of rapping that's unique to both of you. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell that you guys bounce shit off each other. I mean, you clearly do because you go back and forth with shit and whatnot, you know?
Yeah, like we write as individuals. We don't, like, I feel like a lot of people might have the illusion that we just like sit in the living room with beats on and like ask each other what rhymes with blood or something, but we write very separately and then kind of come together to touch base and show each other what we've got or what's vibing as far as similar content, and then we kind of, you know, or maybe we'll just have a theme in mind and be like, hey, I thought we could do a song this angle, so maybe try and write some shit towards that. But yeah, it's definitely very helpful to have a rap partner, and like, you know, you can you just got somebody else to put fresh ears on something where you're like, hey, what do you think of that? Because I'm not sure about it. So
yeah, I can relate to that, man. I can relate to that. I got my brother's been like that for me, so I can definitely relate to having somebody to bounce shit off of, and like get an opinion other than your own. Yeah.
I've had verses I thought were dope, and then I would show Term, and I'd be like, yo, you should try and write something to match this, and we could have a song that vibes all cohesive as one theme. And then he would show me what he wrote, and then I'd be like, shit, like, not so dope anymore. Like, I got to go rewrite my verse. So we kind of keep each other pushing in that sense, and maybe you and Herbs can relate, but it kind of keeps you on your toes. And
oh, shit. Like hey, hold on 1 second. Hey, someone's knocking on my door. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
1 second. The prank wax.
Shit. Oh, shit. Fuck, my bad, dude. Let me, I'm recording this podcast right now. I actually even got somebody on the phone right now. Oh, shit. Let me get this part. Dude. Yeah. Yo, Ack, you still there?
Very important guy on the phone. Yeah, what's
still there? Yeah, my boy Joke just got in the door. I kind of got to roll pretty soon because he's the dude that mixed my album, and he just got here. We got the finished fucking product, and we got to line all this shit up or whatever.
Man. I'm glad I was finally able to hang on the line with you for more than like 30 seconds.
Word up, man. Well, shit. Since you just put out your project, why don't you just fucking go ahead before I get out of here? Do the whole fucking. Where can people get it? What's it called? Is there anything they should know about it? Your Twitters and fucking Instagrams and fucking Friendster and all that shit.
Yeah, we are
Classmates.com.
Acumental and Terminal Knowledge, the Palmer Squares, Dope Raps, Twitter, Instagram at Palmer Squares, Facebook, the Palmer Squares, and we got a new project with a producer, Dro, out right now called Square Tactics, which you can hear that song we did with Wax. And we got a new video dropping this Friday from an old project called Spooky Language. So if you want to peep that, that's what's up too.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks. I fucking called you. It's not like you fucking came on the show, but thanks. This time, I guess the cards were, or what do they say? The stars were aligned, and you know, you were actually able to do this whole thing. Sorry, I got to cut out early, man, but I got to, you know.
That's not a problem. Thanks for giving me a third chance, not striking my ass out.
Right. So you hit. Now your 3 are all good. You know, you had base hit on this one. Now you're at your next at bat.
Now I'm good. I was teetering, but I made it. I made it into the game.
Yeah, I'll hit Term up next time. I'll get the other end of the square.
Yeah. He literally just graduated from college today, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he just finished school, so that motherfucker's got nothing but time. Call us that.
That's what's up. Everybody hit up at Palmer Squares Twitter and congratulate Term on his graduation from college. What's his degree?
He was illustration. So he does,
nice.
He does album art. He's done our album art for all of the last couple projects, and I study video, so I do all our YouTube shit, and I edited this video that's coming out on Friday, and pretty much all our other shit. So he does
perfect,
pictures,
man.
I do the moving pictures, and we both rap.
That's what's up. Perfect combination. All right, man. Well, I'll holler at you, man.
All right, take it easy.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Congratulations to Acumental for putting out his project, and I'm going to get off here for a second. I got to do some work. All right, back to Thursday now. I'm so sorry I'm late with this fucking podcast. If you want to stand outside of my house and boycott, strike, you can stand out there with your little signs that says the podcast doesn't come first. Just a big-ass sign that says boring. Maybe like 2 people have to hold it, one on one end and one on the other. So if you want to boycott the podcast, you're welcome to, because it's fucking totally my fault. I say it every Wednesday, and it's Thursday, and it's even late in Thursday. I'm looking at my clock right now. It's like 5 p.m. Thursday, and I still haven't done the shout-outs and the questions. and I fucking apologize to you guys for that. I suck. But let me do some shout outs here. Let me move this fucking microphone so I can actually goddamn see the screen. Still can't really see it because I need glasses or something probably. Shout outs: Snugs and Richie from Philly, Bert the dentist, Nimbus Cloud, Alex from San Diego, Carla the stay-at-home mom, Caleb W, Chris from Greece, Aaron from London, that's Aaron A from London, Sebastian from Denmark, Dominic O, Ryan T, Cameron H, Diane L, Matthias, who is making that long drive. Thanks for making that drive, Matthias, that's what's up. Blake the drummer, Slawa with the West Coast podcast jingle, Matt G in Adelaide, South Australia, Ryan M, TJ L, Christine H in Toronto, Jessica B, Jesse U, Sterling W, Matt K, Chris M in Michigan, Steve B and Maddie Mack in South Jersey, Cornelius in Norway, Jose Luis, Victor S, Joe H, Raul Justice, and AJ from Australia. So, yeah, once again, I'm sorry. Sorry about the podcast being late, but the podcast must continue. Is that the new theme? Instead of the podcast comes first, the podcast must continue. All right. So this is from, let's just do a couple questions here. This is from BM Craze. This is from my man BM Craze. He used to live in LA here. I've met him a few times. This past year I've been doing a lot of traveling due to the whole military thing. And I tend to always leave shit behind, whether it be a toothbrush, phone charger, or other shit that seems to somehow not make it back into my bag. I leave shit places and have to replace it. My question is, do you ever leave shit behind on tour? Do you have a trick to not doing so, or are you like a mastermind of organizational skills and shit? LOL. Hope all is well for you and yours, man. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I appreciate that, BM Craze. And you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year yourself. As far as me being a mastermind of organizational skills, that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, the exact opposite of that. You can ask my manager, you can ask my brother. I'm the dude that leaves shit behind. I leave my guitar at the venue and shit. Like, several times I've had to drive back to the venue to get my guitar or get whatever I left there. I never ever can have a phone charger for more than like a month. So the reason I asked that question was to tell you that I can't give you any tips because I'm probably just as bad as you as far as leaving shit behind. I never remember to get everything out of a hotel room, especially if you're in a rush and you're hungover as fuck. So sometimes that makes it difficult. Why is my fucking mouse not working? Come on, mouse. Come on, mouse. Get the cheese. That was fucking stupid and nonsensical. This one is from Riley D. Yo, Mike, I have a question preferably for the podcast, but if you don't answer it on there, it's cool. Do you think education out of high school is important when you're trying to get into the arts? For example, graphic design, video production, music production. I've been told many times education is the most important thing, but I feel like with a creative job, it doesn't matter what school you went to, but more what your previous work is like. Is this true in the industry? P.S. If you're looking for good music, download the album Trap House Rock by Kids These Days. They're a soul funk rap band from Chicago, and their stuff is awesome. I think you'd like it. Well, you know what, Riley? I tried to download that based on you saying soul funk rap band from Chicago. That was all I needed to try to download it. Found a link, downloaded it, and I tried to uncompress it, the zip file, and it said it wouldn't work. So obviously it's not their fault, it's my fault, but I'm so lazy that I probably won't even listen to it now just because of that. As far as school, I mean, it's different for everybody, man. Like, there's a lot of people in the music industry that even didn't finish high school, stuff like that. And I'm not talking about just musicians. I'm talking about people that are in the industry, like executives. Because that industry is more about what you do and your work ethic and shit like that. And some people don't necessarily need the school to be smart. You learn a lot more as an intern or whatever. I would say, though, for graphic design and for technical shit like video production even, or even like music video production or music production, if you want to be an engineer and shit like that, I would definitely say that school can be to your advantage. The bottom line with schools like that, because I went to a school like that, you get out of it what you put into it, man. Like, you can go to a recording school and, some of these people that go to shit like that fresh out of high school and just think it's something cool and like it'll be just this awesome shit, but they don't realize it is actually work. They're skipping class, that I never really understood that, man. If you're paying for the school, why are you skipping class? The whole point is that you want to learn. So really with those schools, you get out of it what you put into it. So if you use all the labs, if you go after school and talk to the teachers, blah, 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 whatever you do, like specialty schools like that, you get out what you put into it, whether it be graphic design, music production, or fucking, auto mechanics shit. If you slack off and don't pay attention, it's not going to be worth the money at all. But if you choose to gain a lot of knowledge in a situation where you could gain a lot of knowledge, maybe it will be worth it, and you'll get the piece of paper. So that's my advice on that. This one is from Art Amrinder. Even though he says it's from Bob Saget. If you could choose one other occupation aside from being a music artist, what would it be? I didn't think about the answer to this one. I don't know why I'm answering it, but probably a bartender in some tropical place. Just one of those places where it's like a pretty busy place, and you work 3 days a week. Every night you make 300 in tips. Bam, 900 a week. That easily pays your rent. On a weekly basis, it pays your monthly rent on your fucking surf bungalow shack you live at in the Dominican Republic. And then you just fucking wake up and on your 4 days off and just go drink pina coladas and try to fuck tourists. I don't know. That's just off the top of my head what I would do if I wasn't a musician. Anyway, this one's from Chad C in Long Beach. What up, Wax? This is Chad C from Long Beach. Obviously, I'm a big fan, or I wouldn't listen to your podcast on a regular basis, and I wouldn't be writing to your show, so I refuse to follow suit and kiss your ass. That being said, you can eat a fucking dick up until you hiccup. Ha ha ha, just kidding. Why would eating a dick up make you hiccup? Is there gas? Or is it gassy to eat a dick? Like, is there gas inside of a dick? I would think if you ate somebody's, stomach, you'd be more likely to hiccup. Eat my stomach up until you hiccup. Like, if you eat a dick up, I don't know. Maybe there is gas in there, or maybe you just fucking choke on the dick until, there's. That wouldn't really be a hiccup. That'd be more like a gag, I guess. I don't know. My question for you is a two-parter. I've lived in and around the LA area my whole life, but Venice is on a whole nother level. Every time I'm there, I see the most random and bizarre shit that makes me say to myself, what the fuck? All walks of people, from amazing artists and craftsmen to men dressed like women to crackheads whose brains are so fried they're not even on this planet anymore. So many fascinating things, and I always wish I had a camera with me. So my first question is, what is the most random and bizarre shit you've seen since living in Venice that literally made you say to yourself, what the fuck? Also, living in SoCal for a long period of time, we get accustomed to our surroundings without even realizing it. When my friends visit from other states, they're bugging out on shit that I don't even notice anymore. So my second question is, what have you unknowingly considered the norm that would have your friends from back home tripping out? I hope you read an answer to this. I'm really interested in hearing some of your random encounters. It would be impossible to live in Venice without an open mind. In fact, you should have a segment called Random Encounters because of things you see in LA on a day-to-day basis most people will never see in their life. Hope to hear back from you. Keep doing what you do, and fuck December 25th. My Christmas is on January 15th. Well, that's what's up, man. I really appreciate that, Chad C. As far as Venice being crazy, Venice Beach is crazy in a sense. Like, the area that most people go to, the boardwalk, is where all the crazy people tend to flock to. I've actually noticed that it's really not that crazy. Hold up. Fuck. I can't answer that right now. My fucking manager's calling me. I wish that I had to call someone and fuck with them phone thing hooked up, because then I could record this conversation. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Hold up. Yo.
Hey.
The deal.
We also got to look at the total running time of the music to make sure to fit on a CD.
Oh, okay. What is the total running time?
Huh?
What is the total running time? I haven't looked at that.
I don't know. Now that you should look at it. You got to load in iTunes.
Yeah, I got it on iTunes. I'm actually recording you right now, Brian. On your I was doing that podcast when. Yeah, I was doing the podcast.
Oh, nice.
So I'm recording you right now. On the podcast having a boring conversation about how long the album is. Well, maybe that's not boring. People might be interested in that. Let me see. The total run. Fuck, man, I can't do the add it all up right now.
Now, if you put it, I'll look at it. If you put it in a playlist, it shows how long it is.
I'd say I got it in a playlist. It says the total where?
It doesn't say it at the top.
Oh, it does. It
13
does. It says 1 hour. It says 18 songs, one.
minutes.
It says. Hold up, dude. Okay, 1 hour and 4 minutes. 1:04:46.
4 minutes. I think they make 80-minute CDs, right?
Yeah, 64 minutes can fit on a CD for sure.
All right, cool.
All right, cool, man. Huh?
Yo.
What the fuck was
All
that?
right, cool.
Hold up, is somebody... What the fuck is going on here? I got somebody knocking on... Hello? Alright, I'm reading a question on the podcast. I get a phone call. Dude. I swear somebody's knocking on my door. I'm over here tripping, yo. Somebody knocking on my door. The ambulance goes by. Brian Washington calls. Oh, shit. What the fuck was I even talking about on the podcast? What question was that? Oh, yeah, the guy... Oh, what I was going to say, the reason I answered this question is because I feel like Venice, people think Venice is more crazy than it actually is. Like, when you live here, it's just more like... I mean, shit, it's right by the beach. Most people that live here are rich people. You know, like the people that you see on the pier and on the boardwalk being all crazy, like they're the minority. You know, they don't go home to their fucking, you know, nice place. Like if you ever walk down there and see the houses that are down there and shit, it's fucking crazy. So Venice is actually more of a yuppie place than a crazy place. It just happens to be at the place where you go when you visit Venice. That happens to also be the place where these people go because they want to. That's what they do for a living. They're street performers and they make money off people that walk by. So it's not really weird that happens. That being said, I was driving down the street the other day and this older fat guy was at the bus stop pissing into the street into Lincoln Boulevard, which is a very busy street. Like just his dick just hanging out there. He's pissing into the fucking street from the bus stop like he didn't give a fuck. So that's the weirdest thing I've seen since I've been here. And, you know, that's not that weird, I guess. I guess that would be weird if it happened in my hometown, or maybe it wouldn't. And as far as having the weekly segment on Random Encounters, maybe I will do that. I couldn't have done that the past couple weeks because I literally, like, I literally have been working and doing nothing else. I sit at home and I write and I record and I mix and I master. And now the goddamn album is completely fucking done. And I'm excited. And I'm going to go out tomorrow night and actually fucking do something that doesn't involve my house. So it's going to be cool. Thanks, Chad C. This one is from Mike. Thanks for getting back to me. I really appreciate it. I'll copy and paste the lyric. Oh, he had sent me a verse he was working on. Anyway, I got a question. You might want to talk about on the podcast. Well, there's this guy in grade 12 at my school. I won't say names, but he's basically a giant asshole. One of those kids that goes around starting shit, not giving a fuck, and fighting people he knows aren't fighters. Well, I'm not a fighter, but I'm also not a dick. And I have a lot of friends, like I'm not unpopular. I guess that made me a good target for him. All that shit's over now, but after he was done trying to start shit with me and threatening me and shit like that, it made me think, what makes a guy want to be that person? Why does someone want to be known as the immature kid who solves problems with fighting? Why does he get away with it and still be the cool kid? I just think it's a fucked up part of the high school society, and I'd like to hear your opinion. Thanks. P.S. Who are these fucking people making these? It's so funny. I always complain about getting noise complaints, and as soon as somebody next door makes like one fucking sound in the months that I've lived here, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Meanwhile, at 3 a.m., me and Joe are in here fucking blasting music. When I go to your website, sometimes the new toothbrush video on the homepage takes a bit to load, and I see the picture behind it, and there's like dicks and tits and asses. Where the fuck was that? Anyways, peace, man. That was at this, there's this barber shop where we did like, where I took a couple photos, and the bathroom there is just like, basically a wallpaper of porn. I thought that was a cool place to take a picture. Or I didn't suggest this, the chick. My friend Austin, who takes photos, suggested it. Thanks, Austin. And there are, in fact, dicks, tits, and asses in that shot. What What the fuck did you... Oh, the fucking bully at school. Listen, I remember a specific dude. First of all, let me start by saying I remember being a dick as a kid, too. At high school, middle school. I remember being picked on, and I remember picking on people. It's just like some weird thing that kids do, and I'm sure it's fucking bad for kids. I mean, you know, we got people shooting up schools and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of this stems from bullying, but I don't know that if we can ever get rid of bullying. I think bullying is like just a thing that kids do. I don't know. I mean, some of these people, I walk by people in the street like these little fucking, you know what they do? Speaking of Venice, you know what they got in Venice? They got like these little fucking white kids that are wearing fucking designer fucking clothes, going around looking nicer than anybody around, but they're fucking asking for change and money in like this way that they do, this direct, like, real asshole way, and like if you say no, they fucking are mean about it. It's like, you little motherfucker, like you can't be dressed nicer than me and ask me for money and in the first place, and then you can't get mad at me. And the reason I even brought this up is because of bullying. Like, when I see that fucking kid, like, I think somebody needs to beat the shit out of him. Like, I think it would be actually good for that person if there was a bully that beat the shit out of him. Maybe some people out there need to be bullied, but the problem is when one guy gets singled out and the whole school bullies him and it fucking goes too far, and somebody needs to step in. I do agree with what I saw on the news. With all the shit somebody said on the news, you know, with all the shit we learn in school, especially the fact that we learn all this useless shit. There's so much useless information that we're taught in school. Why isn't there a class in the day dedicated to this shit? Like, we do social studies, but what about like actual social skills studies, like interacting with motherfuckers, not being a fucking asshole, like learning how to not be a dick. That should be a school, like every year you should have to take that class, you know? They talk about taking God out of school with 10 Commandments. They talk about all that stuff, but like, it doesn't even have to be about God. It has to be about just teaching a class that's like a basic morality class. That would be actually a way to get around the whole, like, people have different religions. How come we can't have the Bible, blah, blah, blah. But, like, let's not worry about the religion aspect of it. Maybe you could even teach like, maybe you can tell in the class what many other people do, you know, like, Christians believe this, Jews believe this, Muslims believe this. What we all believe is that we shouldn't be fucking dicks. That's what the 10 Commandments says. That's what the Golden Rule says. Like, we should have a class in school, 1st through 12th grade, one period a fucking day, where we learn about how to be fucking kind to one another instead of learning who the fucking... I can't remember exactly, but there was I know that I learned a lot of useless information. Like, why do I got to know who invented the cotton gin? Eli Whitney. Everybody knows that Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin. How does that help me? You know what would have helped a lot of people is if you had told them the effects of what being a dick did, and if you had I don't know. My point is, I already made the point. That whole fucking rant was the point. But for this dude, Mike, I can't tell you why that guy acts like that, but I can tell you that I remember a specific guy that is exactly the same guy that you're describing to me when I was like a freshman in high school and he was like a junior or senior in high school. And the only thing you can really do besides prank them, you know, like put dog shit in their locker or something like that, what you got to realize is that high school ain't shit. Like, it's important for your development, it's important for your social development, for your brain development. You know, it's good to do at least well enough in there that you graduate, and if you want to go to college, do well enough to go to college. But as far as the social aspect of it and who's popular and all that shit, and that shit does not fucking matter. That guy that's picking on you, he's peaking. His life is peaking right now. He's 17 or 18 years old, and this is the height of it. His popular high school years, like when he's, you know, 10 years from now when he's 28, he's gonna be like, God, remember when I used to fuck the cheerleaders, and you know, I used to fucking be on the football team, blah blah, and now he's just fucking. He's just fucking bagging groceries, and nothing wrong with bagging groceries, by the way. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but he just whatever dreams he had are gone because he didn't have dreams. He lived in the high school moment, and he didn't fucking do anything to prepare for his future. And all he did was pick on people like yourself. So fuck him. Just don't worry about him. That shit's unimportant, man. Jesus Christ. All right, this is from Nick. I'm not gonna read. Oh wait, he's fucking with me. You are a god among men, and people shall worship your feet for the amazingness that you emit from every pore of your skin. That's what kind of praise I read on the podcast. Okay, anyway, I have a question. My son is about to be born in the next few days, and me and my girl can't agree on a name. I like Harrison Carson Kraft, and she likes Carson Alexander Kraft. What do you think, bro? Thanks for the help. I think you should find a middle ground, and I think that you should, for your wife's purpose, I think that you should kind of go with what she wants. That's my advice. If you're when it comes to naming your kid, you kind of give. I don't know if it's a son, maybe not though. If it was a daughter, it'd be different. If it's a son, what the fuck is going on? God damn, man, motherfuckers are making loud ass noise and shit. If you got a don't ask. You know what? That's the reason I now remember. The reason why I did this is I want to be like, dude, don't ask me what to name your kid, man. Don't any input that I even just said. Don't fucking use it. Go ask like your family for that kind of advice. Yo, Wax. My name's Orion, and I'm a senior in high school down in San Diego. I don't really have a plan to do anything after high school except the typical quote go to college unquote that everyone seems to be doing. And I was thinking about going to recording school after finishing high school. Do you think this would be a good idea? How good is the job industry for audio engineers? Thanks for taking the time to read this, and thanks if you decide to respond on the podcast. P.S. Do you have any of your music on vinyl? I just bought a record player. I was thinking about putting my album on vinyl. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it anymore. I do have a song that me and my brother did with Lack of Afro, the British producer I work with a bunch. The song International, that is on vinyl. You can get that on Freestyle Records, I believe. A British company. Props to my man Adam Gibbons, aka Lack of Afro. Got 2 joints on my upcoming album. One of which is Lewis and Clark, which, if it all works out, the fucking music video should be out tomorrow. I fucking said it was gonna be out tomorrow, but I don't know if it is or not, because my boy, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, back to your question, Orion. This kind of digs into what I was talking about earlier about you going to school and getting out of it what you put into it. I went to a recording school, and the reason why off the top of my head, you're saying that you get out of high school and you go to recording school. The reason off the top of my head I would recommend against it is because recording school is really, really expensive, and if you have any question in your mind that you want to go to it or not, you probably shouldn't go. Give it a few years, and then maybe go when you're 22, 23. Because all the people that went straight out of high school at the place where I went to, like, they were, I mean, you know, getting out of high school and moving out of your parents' house. I don't know if maybe you got one nearby to you, but like, it gives you this new sense of freedom and shit that is so fun to handle that it might be hard to really concentrate on the fact that you're there to better yourself, to better your future, to start a career. So I think it might be wise for you to either go to regular college or just get a little job for a little while and kind of grow up and learn who you are, and then figure out exactly if you want to go to recording school or not. Because what you don't want to do is, with a lot of people I know that went straight out of high school, they kind of bullshitted through recording school, and now it's 3 years later and they got the same job they would have had if they hadn't gone to recording school, which is not a recording job, but they also have the bill from recording school. How good is the job industry for audio engineers? It's pretty good, man. It's like it's getting worse and getting better because you can record at your house now. Like the technology is so advanced that half of these people are making albums at somebody's house. The bad thing is there's less job in big studios. The good thing is you get a computer and a nice microphone and some equipment and shit. Like you pretty much got your own company going. And you can, if you're good enough, people just come to your house and pay you to record their shit. So I don't know. But then again, the dude who mixed my album, Joe Peluso, he started recording school at 17, and he mixed Lupe Fiasco's last album. He's worked with Guns N' Roses. He's done all kinds of shit. Mix my shit. You know what I mean? And hey, blabbity blue. Yeah. All right, a couple more. This one's from Brandon. What up, Wax? I would give you praise like every other fucker, but I'd be beating that poor reincarnated horse. I will say that the Bag It Up track you did with the Palmer Squares was hilarious. Thank you. Props to the Palmer Squares. Oh yeah, he's on this episode. Yesterday I talked to him on the Call Someone and Fuck With Him segment. For your Call Someone and Fuck With segment, you should for your Call Someone and Fuck With Them section of your podcast, you should call EOM. I am interested in what he is doing now. Me, Zorb. Oh, I tried to call him. I tried to call him. That's right. And I think he was busy helping his friend move. Any whore. That's what he said, not me. Any whore. I am currently 18, living with my parents and trying to finish high school. I'm struggling with school because depression. I have always had trouble with school, not because I am dumb, but for the fact that my life with my parents is sporadic. We move at least every 2 years or so. Now I live 30 minutes from the high school I used to go to. This forced me to do online school, which I believe is the sole purpose of my depression. The only thing that makes me enjoy life is making music with my group of friends, and I rarely get to work with them. I'm sick of living here. It is gradually eroding my sanity. I barely ever get to talk to people except the clerk at the convenience store. I wish I could move on, but I am unsure what to do next. My goal is to move in with my group and commit to bettering myself without negativity of people I live with. Wait. You're going to move in with your group and commit to better yourself without negativity of the people you live with. I guess that means the people you currently live with, your family. I guess that's the negativity, not the people you want to move in with. I was going to say, if they're negative people, why would you want to move in with them? All right, now you know the story. My question is, should I drop out to get my GED, or should I just man the fuck up and finish high school even if it takes the next 8 months of my life? I generally don't like asking people life questions for the fact that I'm an introvert, but I would like to know your opinion since you are older and wiser. LOL. As a musician, how did you make the transition into the life on your own without financial support? All right, let me start by saying a few things at the end there. The musician transition on a mission to pay tuition, whatever. The transition to being a musician without financial support is not something that happens overnight, dude. That took me years and years and years and years and years. You got to get yourself out there. You got to get your skill level up. And if you're 18, you got plenty of time, which leads me to my next point. You made it sound like finishing high school, and even if it takes the next 8 months of my life, dude, 8 months is not a fucking long time. Like, it might seem like a long time right now, like, you know, I can't believe I got to spend the next 8 months to finish high school, but dude, 8 months ain't shit, bro. Like, I mean, I definitely would recommend, if you can, to finish high school. I'm sorry that you have depression. I know what that's like, but I think that finishing high school here would be your way to go. I'm not saying anything is wrong with getting your GED or dropping out, because I know people that drop out that are fine, people that get their GED and they do well with life and shit like that. But most of the time, people that drop out of high school, that's like the first. It's not about whether or not you're smart enough to finish high school. It's about the kind of person you are as far as, can you finish shit? And if you can't get through high school, man, you know, granted, some people drop out because they're just so fucking far ahead of high school, they ain't got time for that shit. You know what I mean? That's how Joe, the mixing engineer I was just talking about, is. That's how I've several people, like music people, are often like that. If you're already so fucking advanced, if you're just some fucking prodigy or an actor or something like that, like, you know, fucking get the fuck out of there, and why waste time, you know? But most people that drop out is because they don't want to do it. It's just because, you know, it's just easier. It's just easier to drop out. And what happens is that usually becomes the first in a series of that attitude, you know? You know, it's employers and shit like that, they don't give a fuck that you have the knowledge obtained in high school or even college for that matter. They just give a fuck that you're the kind of person that can finish, you know, that can put in the 4 years, put in the extra hours, you know? So I'd recommend that you do finish school. I'm not going to recommend anybody to drop out if they ask. I'm really sorry about your depression. What I would recommend is that you get the fuck out of your house sometimes and go hang out with those people. That, if you enjoy making music, go make the music. I know that shit got me by. This one is from Grant. Hey man, I don't think you shouted me out in your podcast, so I'm expecting a super special one next week. And I'm from England, by the way. I've never told you that. But yeah, I'm from Essex in England, so this week I want to know if you know of any stereotypes that involve the UK. I have to tell you how ashamed I am of the impression I get when I tell people I'm from Essex. If you really want to know what I'm talking about, look up the show The only way is Essex. It's like the Jersey Shore, but like 10 times worse. You're awesome as always. Keep it up. Fuck, I guess I didn't copy your name over, but I think your name is Grant. I guess I didn't copy that over from the other email, but it's probably not that great of a shout out if I didn't say your fucking name right. But no, I've never heard of The Only Way is Essex. As I say before, you know, we as Americans, we're very fucking stupid when it comes to knowing about shit from other cultures and other countries. But if it's like the Jersey Shore, I've actually never seen an episode of the Jersey Shore, so I don't really know much about that. But as far as stereotypes that involve people in the UK, the leading stereotype about UK people, as far as what the United States thinks, is probably the teeth. People in the UK have bad teeth. Everybody that goes to the UK says that the food sucks. They say they have the best Indian food. Like, the Indian food in the UK is supposedly better than the Indian food in India, according to people that I've talked to. But the food supposedly is the British food supposedly is very bland. And I don't know if that's because we as Americans had to pour fucking 8 gallons of butter and salt on fucking every piece of broccoli we eat. That's probably the real problem, is that we fucking have all this bullshit artificial sweeteners and salteners and fucking laxatives and traxatives and bixidans and fixiscrolls and scrippity goppity boobity bobs. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. Thanks, Grant, for the email. This next one is from Geoff. Okay. Praise, blah, blah, blah. Now, this really is from Jeff D. Praise, blah, blah, blah. Now that I've just boosted my chances of making the podcast, here's my situation. I'm in community college headed towards a fine arts degree. Last quarter, I was in sculpture class with this chick. She's fine as fuck, and her art is just fucking mind-blowing. Basically, she's just an all-around interesting person. The only thing holding me back from her is her. Now, I'm not your stereotypical guy that's out there looking to hit it and quit it. From the little I know about her, she seems really cool, and I'd like to at least try to start hanging out with her more, and hopefully go on a date or two. She's crazy shy, though. It's hard to get her to talk much unless she's comfortable. So far, the only way she has seemed to get comfortable is when her annoying-ass ugly friend is hanging around. They don't even necessarily have to be talking to each other or anything, but this girl definitely is more relaxed with that chick around. Now, I realize that if this turns into a girlfriend situation, that I'll have to deal with the friend anyway, yeah? Unless you're one of those asshole guys that's like, you can't hang out with your friends anymore. You got to stay home with me. Where are you? Why? What are you been? Let me text you. Where are you? Why are you there? What are you doing? But you have any ideas to get her? Wait. I'll have to deal with the friend anyway. But you have any ideas to get her to maybe relax a bit more without this chick around so that we can just chill? So far, she just seems too tensed up for me to even feel like I could ask her out. I don't know, man. Any advice would be cool. Well, whenever I want to get a chick to relax, an art chick to relax, I just put some fucking, I was trying to say put a drug, her stereotypical drink, but I can't think of a stereotypical drink of an artist chick when she's drinking her fucking chai tea and she turns around to fucking when she's drinking her chai tea and she turns around because she has a little burst of why can I not talk? Why can I not fucking talk? Because I was trying to say something too complicated. I was going to act like I was some kind of stand-up comedian when I'm not. I was trying to say something to the effect of, she's sipping on her chai tea, and she all of a sudden gets a little burst of inspiration, and she turns around to do a fresh brush stroke on her oil painting. That's when you slip that little roofie pill right into that chai tea. That's how I'd get that fucking whore relaxed. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just trying to make jokes that aren't funny. No, to be honest with you, man, like, as a musician, like you said, she's fine as fuck and her art is fucking mind-blowing. When I see a girl and she's hot and then I see her fucking playing the guitar and singing or something, that like just takes it to a whole nother level to me. And that, to me, that's what takes it, shit like that is what takes it beyond the hit it and quit it thing, like you said. You know, you see a hot girl at like one of these clubs in Hollywood and she's just like, you know, the kind of hot that like is almost, she's not, it's not because she's smart, it's not because she's talented, she's just fucking hot, you know, she's just like porn hot. Like, that's the kind of shit you think hit it and quit it. You see a girl singing or playing guitar or doing art or something like that, that's when you kind of think of it as some other shit. As far as her being shy and trying to get her more comfortable, man, that's a really tough thing to do right there. Maybe she's just like that. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe if she's shy around you, maybe that shows that she actually likes you. You know what I mean? Maybe she's like, with her friend hanging around, she feels comfortable and she's more herself. But when she's around you, due to the fact that she likes you, she's like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna say the right thing. What do I say? Blah blah blah. So maybe you got a good thing going there. If I were you, I'd just one day when she's sitting there working on her sculpture at the potter's wheel, you just come up next to her and you put your fucking foot on that wheel brake, get it to go real fast. She's got her trying to think of some kind of fucking sex. That's like that movie Ghost. Fucking none of you youngsters remember that movie. There's some fucking movie where there's like a sexual scene between Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze, but Patrick Swayze was a dying ghost and she was on a potter's wheel. I don't know. Whatever. Just fucking talk to her and try to fuck her, man. Just do your best. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know why I give advice in these situations. Tell her that she's pretty. Tell her that she's really looks pretty today. And you think she's really smart and really cool. I can't do it anymore. Alright, y'all. Be safe out there.